Kevin had always been a light sleeper. Years of serving aboard the Terran research vessel Horizon's Edge had trained him to wake at the slightest irregularity, a hull breach alarm, a course correction, even the subtle shift in gravity when jumping between star systems. So when he felt warmth against his chest that morning, his eyes snapped open immediately. The alien queen lay curled in his arms. Her crystalline skin shimmered with bioluminescent patterns that pulsed softly in the dim light of his quarters. 4 slender arms were folded beneath her chin, and her crown a natural formation of what looked like living amethyst rested against his shoulder. She was breathing, slowly, peacefully. Kevin's heart hammered against his ribs, but he didn't move. One wrong shift and this diplomatic nightmare could become an intergalactic incident. The Jathiri had arrived at the research station 3 weeks ago. Their queen Zalvinia had come to negotiate humanity's entry into the Galactic Concordancy, federation of spacefaring species that had existed for millennia. Humanity was young, volatile, and according to most galactic standards, dangerously unpredictable. The Jathiri were ancient, powerful, and possessed technology that made Earth's greatest achievements look like stone tools. Kevin had been assigned as a cultural liaison, mainly because he'd studied xenobiology and had what his commander called an acceptable level of tact. His job was simple: help the Queen understand human customs, answer her endless questions about Earth, and above all, don't mess things up. He'd done his job well. Too well. Apparently Jasmine would kill him when she found out. His fellow researcher and best friend had warned him repeatedly about getting too comfortable with the Jathiri. They're telepathic, Kevin, she'd said just yesterday, her dark eyes serious. Not like reading your mind telepathic, but the Queen can feel what you're feeling. Be careful. He'd laughed it off then. Now, with an alien monarch sleeping in his bed, Jasmine's warning echoed in his mind. Kevin tried to remember the previous night. He'd been alone, he was certain of that. After the day's negotiations, he'd returned to his quarters, reviewed his notes, and collapsed into bed around 0200 hours. The door was locked. The station's security was top. How had she even gotten in? As if sensing his confusion, Zalvinia stirred, her eyes large, opalescent, and utterly inhuman opponed. Slowly, for a moment, she simply stared at him. Then, to Kevin's absolute shock, she smiled. "You are awake," she said, her voice like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. "Good morning, Kevin, Your Majesty," Kevin managed, his voice barely above a whisper. How did you phase shift technology?" she replied simply, as if materializing in someone's locked room was the most natural thing in the universe. "Your primitive locks are no barrier to us." Kevin's mind raced through every protocol violation this represented. "Why are you here?" Zalvinia's expression shifted, something that might have been sadness, or perhaps loneliness. "Last night, I felt your dreams. They were so vivid, so full of warmth and connection. You humans dream of companionship even in your sleep." She paused, one of her slender fingers tracing a pattern on his sleeve. "My kind do not dream. We have forgotten what it means to feel vulnerable. So you just came to experience it." "I came because I was drawn to your light," she said. "In all my centuries I have negotiated with hundreds of species. Most fear us, some worship us. But you, Kevin, you treated me like a person. Not a queen, not a god, just someone worth knowing." Kevin felt his face flush. He'd been doing his job, being professional, but he couldn't deny that he'd genuinely enjoyed their conversations. The Queen was brilliant, curious, and surprisingly funny when she let her guard down. "Your Majesty, this could cause serious problems, Zalvinia," she interrupted gently. "When we are alone, call me Zalvinia." Before Kevin could respond, his door chimed. Then Jasmine's voice came through the intercom, urgent and worried. "Kevin, the Queen is missing. The Jathiri guards are going crazy. They're threatening to lock down the entire station if we don't." The door slid open. Jasmine stood in the threshold, her tablet in hand and her expression already forming some kind of explanation. Then she saw them. Her eyes went wide. Her mouth opened, then closed, then opened again. "I can explain," she finally said, though she clearly couldn't. "No," Kevin said, gently extricating himself from Zalvinia's embrace. "I think Her Majesty needs to explain." Zalvinia rose gracefully from the bed, her royal bearing returning like a cloak settling over her shoulders. But when she looked at Jasmine, there was genuine warmth in her expression. "I apologize for the alarm," the Queen said. "I have been alone for so long that I had forgotten what it meant to simply rest beside another being. Your Kevin showed me kindness without expectation. His dreams were so beautiful that I could not help but be drawn to them." Jasmine looked between them, her analytical mind clearly working through the implications. Then, surprisingly, she smiled. "Your Majesty, on Earth, we call that loneliness. And we have a saying, misery loves company, but so does joy." "Then perhaps," Zalvinia said, her bioluminescent patterns brightening, "humanity has more to teach the galaxy than we anticipated." Kevin watched as understanding passed between the two women. The Jathiri had come seeking to evaluate humanity's worthiness. Instead, their queen had discovered something the ancient species had lost: the simple, profound need for connection. 3 months later, humanity was admitted to the Galactic Concordance. The official reason cited humanity's unique capacity for emotional authenticity and interpersonal bonds. Unofficially, everyone knew it was because an alien queen had learned to dream again in the arms of a surprised human who'd simply treated her with dignity. And Jasmine never let Kevin forget it. The end.